Hi, boys and girls. I hope that you have watched the Very Busy Spider by Eric Carle, because that is what you will need to have done before you do this activity. Okay, so I have it in the Google Classroom. If you don't see it there, you can look it up on YouTube. It's just the story read aloud for the Very Busy Spider, or maybe you even have it at home. All right, so what you're going to do after you hear the story, listen to it really good once, maybe even twice, because you're going to retell the story using some little stick puppets. Okay, so I downloaded into the classroom, and I think I posted them on Class Dojo as well. Some of the characters from the story. Now, if you can't print them, what do I always say? No big deal. You can draw your own characters. Okay, so I'm going to show you. I've cut them out and I put them on little plastic knives because that's what I had. So you use anything that you want at your house, or you don't even have to put them on anything. You can just move the little characters around yourself after you cut them out or after you draw them. Okay, so I'm going to retell the story the best that I can from what I remember. Okay, so I already got this part ready here. I have a spider web. My daughter colored it in. She wanted it to be a fancy rainbow spider web, so I just let that happen. Okay, so I put it between the fence posts, like it was outside, and it was built, between the slats of a wooden fence. And here's the grass down at the bottom. Okay, so I just taped that up here so we could see. All right, so the story begins, and it said, once upon a time there was a spider that drifted in on the breeze on a silk thread, which means its web was kind of spinning. That happens with spiders. They float around when they're very tiny with the wind, and they float on their little web that's coming out of their body. Okay, so that's how it starts. It floats on in, and I'm going to go ahead and just stick that spider right here because it says that it landed between the parts of a fence at a farm. Okay, so that's kind of important to remember. That's the setting, at a farm, on a fence. Okay, the setting is where it happened. Okay, so there's my very busy spider. And the first farm animal that came along was the horse. And the horse came up and said, "Hey, how are you doing? Would you like to go for a ride?" But the busy spider didn't say anything because she was too busy. She was very busy spinning her web. All right, so the horse says, "Okay, I'm out of there." The next farm animal character that came along was Mr. Cow. And Mr. Cow says, "Moo, would you like to come eat some grass with me?" But the very busy spider did not answer because she was very busy. So the cow got out of there. The next character that came along was the sheep. Bah! "Would you like to run in the meadow with me?" A meadow is a big open piece of land with lots of grass and flowers, and it's fun and soft, and animals like to run around in it and bounce and eat the grass and everything. So the sheep says, "You want to go to the meadow?" But once again, the spider didn't say anything because she was very busy building her web. And then the next farm animal character that came along was the goat. And the goat said, "Meh, would you like to jump on some rocks with me?" But the spider didn't say anything because she was very busy building her web. So the goat got out of there. And the next character that came along was the pig. "Would you like to roll in the mud with me?" said the pig. But, of course, once again, the spider didn't say anything. She was very busy building her web. So Mr. Pig got out of there. The next character that came along was the dog. "Ruff, ruff. Would you like to go chase a cat with me?" And the very busy spider didn't answer because she was once again very busy building that web. Oh my goodness, it sure is taking a long time to build that web. The next character that came along was the cat. "Meow. Would you like to take a nap?" I think I'd like to take a nap. How about you? But once again, that spider couldn't rest. She was very busy. She didn't answer. Cat went off to take that nap. The next person or animal that came along was the duck. Quack, quack. Would you like to go for a swim? But the very busy spider didn't answer. But this time, the web was all done. So I'm going to move that, and we'll put our spider over here so that you can see that the web is done. But she didn't answer the duck. I mean, she's still kind of busy. She's got her web built. Maybe she's taking a breath for a second, but she's got something else she's going to do with that web. Okay. Well, along came the rooster, who went cock-a-doodle-doo, and instead of asking if she'd like to go do something, the rooster said, "Would you like to catch a fly now that the web is done?" The rooster notices and says, "Would you like to catch a delicious fly?" The spider didn't say anything. But then along came that fly. Oh my gosh, and it got caught in the web, poor fly. But the spider's got to eat, right? And the spider moved in and ate that fly. Oh my goodness, poor fly, all gone. And then as it was getting towards the evening, the owl flies in and says, "Who built this beautiful web?" But the very busy spider didn't say anything because she was fast asleep. Isn't that something? So she didn't talk the whole story. First she was busy building her web, then her web was done, then she was busy catching that fly and having some dinner, and then she was so tired from her busy day she just went to sleep. So you can do the same thing, and you can make up your own stories if you want to, but it's really good to practice retelling a story. That's an important skill for us when we're in kindergarten, is retelling our story. We know what happened in the beginning, the middle, the end. We know the characters. We know the setting where it took place. That's a really important skill. So you can put on puppet shows for your friends and family, and I hope you have a good time.